Hello and welcome to this first lecture of this new section on risk profiling and this course on practical approach to investing your personal finances. So purpose of this module is to give you an in-depth understanding of how can you determine investors risk profile. How can you do investors risk profiling to help you decide where should you invest your hard-earned money to maximize your returns as an investor. And in this lecture, we will talk about what is risk profile, what are the different risk profiles, and then in the next lecture, we'll talk about how to determine the risk profile and how to use the risk profiles. So, any thoughts on what is risk profiling? So, risk profile is basically it's about trying to optimize risk an individual can take, and it has three components. If you see at the left hand side is risk capacity. How much you can afford to take the risk? What is your inherent capacity to take risk? At what point of time do you start getting tense, start losing your sleep, and you say, oh, this is not worth the money that I wanted to invest? Second is what is the risk required to make the return that you want? So you want to make high return, but then you are not willing to take the high risk. So that is the amount of risk required. And the risk appetite is how much risk you are willing to take. So those are the three elements, and combinedly all this determines and becomes your risk profile. So what are the different types of risk profiles? Any thought? Broadly speaking, this is a common types that you see of risk profile across different investing communities. On the lowest side of a risk capability and risk taking ability is the conservative, and that's called conservative risk profile, where you want to take minimal risk. You don't need the minim, you don't need to take the higher risk, and you are comfortable with whatever best you can get out of that kind of a risk profile. Then there is a moderately conservative, which means you want to take some risk, but you still want to be conservative. And then there is a moderate risk, which is neither conservative nor aggressive. Then there is on the extreme side, there has aggressive risk and moderately aggressive risk. So these are the five types of risk profiles that are used in the industry in which we are talking about. So what do we do next? Having looked at what is risk profiling and what are the different types of profiles, what do we do next? In the next, we will look at how do we determine these risk profile? How can you come to know what is your risk profile? Are you a conservative investor or an aggressive or moderately conservative or moderately aggressive, or you are a moderate investor? So that's the question we will answer in the next lecture. So thank you so much for watching this first lecture of risk profiling in this course on practical approach to investing personal finances. I hope you are beginning to again learn something new, beginning to enjoy, and I do look forward to see you again in the next lecture.